Something more?
Yeah, the last thing is just briefly is what I touched on earlier is how do you cope with or move beyond or let go of when you are in a relationship that you feel very tuned into, but that other person does not choose you and they move away and leave you. There's such a distraught feeling around that of where was I not enough or why am I being left? How do you come back into balance with yourself and know it really isn't about you?
Well, it's helpful if you can come into alignment about your understanding of attraction before you come to such a sensitive issue that shines a light on your sense of self-worth.
Yeah.
But here is what we would do. When you are having an experience which clarifies your desire, the universe always yields to you your desire. So let's talk about relationships in the light of what we are knowing about that. So you have a relationship. Through your exposure to it, something happens, and now you are feeling stronger desire than you have felt before.
Ah, yeah.
As you feel this stronger desire than you've ever felt before, the universe is now answering that desire. So now the question is, are you letting it in or not? So now you've got this stronger than ever desire, and as you have this stronger than ever desire, the question is, are you locked onto your signal or not? So you say, how did I fail? Off the signal. You say,
Gotcha.
What went wrong? You're off the signal. So now this relationship has actually helped you to identify a stronger than ever desire. So now you have a stronger than ever desire, and your new question is, am I locked onto my signal or am I locked off of my signal? And then you say, again, what went wrong, or has he gone to another,
Yes.
or what should I have done differently? And now, even though you have the potential of much greater satisfaction than you've ever had in your life, you are still going back and reliving and trying to figure out what's wrong. So the question is, what do I do about it now? In other words, once something has happened, of course you're going to take your hit.
Yeah.
You're going to get that pain in your solar plexus, and then out of that is going to come a stronger than ever desire. What we want so much for you to hear is that every time you get a stronger desire, every time you get a more clarifying desire, the universe is now instantly answering that too. So let's again recap about those three parts to this. The first part is the asking. That relationship, whatever happened, puts you in the place of clear asking.
Oh, yes.
The universe is always answering, so now your work is to lock onto the signal. So beating up on yourself or beating up on the other just holds you in the locked-in mode.
Right, right.
The thing that so many of you are forgetting, you keep thinking that when you want something and when it manifests, then that is the end. In other words, this is a done thing. Sometimes we will ask a group, what is your desire? And they will say, oh, I don't want that, and I don't want that, and I don't want that, and I don't want that, because I've already got that. And we say, so you think that once the manifestation has occurred, that then the desire ceases? It doesn't. The desire must continue to be there in order to propagate the maintenance or even expansion of anything, you see.
Sure.
When you realize that you are always going to be in a state of evolving desire, you've heard us demonstrate that in this way as we say, so here is this contrast which gives birth to a desire, and you say, instead of saying, oh look, here is this wonderful new desire, now I have something to measure my belief against, which is what the alignment of energy is and what is all your work. Instead you say, oh, just when I thought I had everything that I wanted, here now I want this other thing, and I don't have it, so now here I am a failure again. And we see so many of you, you're laughing about it, but it is a very common thing for you to give birth to a new desire and then feel irritated that you have something unfulfilled. How wonderful it is to have something unfulfilled, because you have this new target to now measure your, which means you are going to expand as you must bring your energy to match that.
Yeah,
and so we
right.
say to you, your future experience will be far more than any experience that you've ever had. Sometimes, especially about relationships, you'll say, well, my relationship was good in the beginning, and I had hoped that it would be wonderful, but it wasn't. It fizzled into disaster, and now we're not together anymore, and now I'm in pain. And we say, oh, you are in a much better place than you know, because your desire is sharper, you're asking more clearly, the universe is still answering. If you'll let it in, what will come now as a result of this experience will be far more excellent than anything that you could have lived otherwise, you see.
I love it.
So then you say, oh, well then it wasn't a bad experience, locked off. It was a good experience, locked on. I'm not a failure, locked off. I'm expanding, locked on. I don't hate this other person, locked off. I've received clarity and benefit, locked on. I didn't do something wrong, locked off. I'm always evolving. So you've heard us ask on many occasions, so now what are you doing about it? In other words, it doesn't matter what you've lived before. It doesn't matter what's caused this point of attraction to be what it is. The only thing that matters is where you are right now. And the only thing that matters within that is what's happening with your desire and what's happening with your allowing. Here you stand right here and now where all of your power is, and you've got two factors that you've got to bring into alignment. One is your desire, and the other is your belief or expectation. Therein lies your work. It will always be. What so many people are saying is, well, if I just had the perfect partner, then when I observe the perfect partner, then I would feel good. And we say, if you had the perfect partner today, your relationship would be dead-ended tomorrow, because without something that causes either one of you or both of you to reach for something more, you cannot stand still. And if you are not reaching for more things that you are wanting, then you are nitpicking about what's going wrong. And that's what happens with most relationships. They stand right where they are and they say, well, I don't really like that. And that, I don't really like that, and I don't really like that either, and I don't like that either, and then they say, what's happened to us? What's happened to us? Why aren't we in love like we used to be? And we say, you killed your love one negative thing at a time by acclimating to the lowest common denominator rather than reaching for the new, you see. Part of you wants to take the existing relationship and turn it into the perfect relationship. And you can do that if you have enough patience, but it's often the hard way of going about it, because often you attracted that person to you when you were a different person than you now are too, you see.
Oh, yeah.
And so we would say to all of our love partners, I want to free you to allow law of attraction to manage your vibration and bring you to the very best place, and I would like to free me to the same. And we wouldn't get too hung up on this idea of failure, because what physical beings are calling failure means, what you usually mean by it is, I should have made this work. I should have been able to stand right here in this isolated situation, and I should have been able to make it work. And we say, why would you when you have this huge buffet? Now, we're not just talking about relationships, we're talking about all things. Reach to the boundaries of the universe and let the universe yield to you all that you are becoming. Part of what we're feeling from you right here is that you are not certain that you've identified what you really want. So it feels to you like there's going to be some lonely time, because you don't feel like you've really sharpened your desire to the place that you want the universe to answer it right now, this red-hot minute, nor do you want to be by yourself.
Right.
And it's the old feeling that something is better than nothing, and we say that's usually not true. Because the something is usually taking you further and further and further into what you do not want. So what you're wanting to say is, the universe has given me this clear space. And I don't have to make any decisions right now. I'm in the process of collecting data. I will receive some of it from my memory of the past, and I will receive some of it from what I'm observing in my relationships and others. And I will observe it, I will imagine it. In other words, this is my time to hone and create. This is my time to show myself what it feels like when I'm locked on to the signal of well-being, what it feels like when I'm locked off. I have to say to you, in this last relationship and others, you've been launching rockets, and the universe, we all know who you are and what you want. And all of that is being offered. Now all you have to do is just practice thoughts that feel good, and you will rendezvous quickly with the fullness of all that you have been giving. You don't have to ever speak another word about it. We don't need more information from you to know. We know it's being given. All you need to do is get locked onto the signal. So you lock on when you pet your cat. When you kill your cat, you're locked off. When you love your cat, you're locked on. When you use your cat for a shot put, you're locked off. We're playing with you.
It's great.
Your words. You're getting.
I really got it. Thank you so much.